All right. Wine. Hello. Welcome back. Let us find out if this.
We're good.
And it works. There we
We're back.
go.
We back, boys. We back. Let's
We
go.
are back.
I think
Yes.
I think I got to break down that Kansas game again. Honestly, Jose, I don't know. Chat. Let me know. Did you guys hear that Kansas breakdown?
Yes. We'll have to do Kansas.
I gotta know because that was one of my favorite breakdowns. So I got to make sure you guys heard that one. So if not, we'll re-talk about it. But let's get back to the LSU Florida game, Jose.
Yes. I was gonna say we definitely have to talk about LSU and Florida again, but let us start there. We'll backtrack to to Kansas, BYU there. But yes, we will talk about that here in a second. Nice to see everyone. Apologies for that. Seems like our YouTube stream just went bad there for a second. So we'll try to get everyone back into this stream. But Wine, let's talk about LSU, Florida. We were in the middle of discussing that before the stream went to shit. I don't think Brian Kelly is a excellent head coach anymore. This line kind of stunk to me at 4.5. It makes me feel that Florida is very live in this game, if I'm going to be honest. I would like to know who's in at quarterback. We have third string walk-ons in there. Billy Napier is probably feeling a lot better about himself, career-wise, because they said he's going to be there next year. Yeah. So just a lot of good vibes building up in Florida, or I should say better vibes than it was earlier in the season when we thought they were going to be the worst team in the nation. So, Wine, I'll let you take it away. LSU, Florida, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you guys for coming back, man. Give you guys maybe a minute or so to hopefully get back in here. Robert, RVD, Scum Blaster, appreciate the dono. Tim Montana. Yeah, I'll go over that Kansas game again for you guys after this one. Appreciate you, Scum, for the donation. Also, shout out to Sean Higgs. I'll give him another shout out when he comes back in here for giving that dono. Asked him to come by, just to come support, and he comes and gives a $50 dono like nothing. So shout out to my guy right there, man. Appreciate him as always. But yeah, let's get right to this game, man. DJ Big Boss, man. Billy Napier, this is his guy. DJ Big Boss loves this guy. We talked about this a lot in the summer going into this year. He was really high on this Florida program. We kind of went back and forth on that Miami-Florida game. And you know what, man? This Florida team heading in the right direction now, heading towards the end of the season, man. Heading in the right direction. The fan base is starting to still come out for these games. Their recruiting is back to normal. I mean, Billy Napier can recruit, man. This guy's a really good recruiter. He's a good coach. We like what he did at the previous school before this. And I like the culture he's kind of building over there, man. Yeah, they got blown up by Miami, but Miami we're seeing as a national title contender type of team. But with that being said, this seems like another trap game here, playing in the swamp, a place where, if you've been watching college football a long time, guys, this is a very intense place to play, very tough. The crowd is up for this one. Florida still can get bowl eligible, man. Part of me thinks they're going to win this game outright. They opened up at a 5-point spread. We're down to a 4.5 at a lot of spots. I gave out the 4.5 minus 110. I'm all over Florida in this spot, guys. It just seems like a clear cut. Being at home, they're going to get it done here. DJ Lagway is practicing. I'm seeing, since the line's moving in their direction, I think he is going to be playing in this game. DJ Lagway, a 5-star guy. Like I said, Napier can recruit, man. He can bring the right guys in. It's going to be up to him next season if he can kind of get these guys to mesh and maybe make a run in the SEC. That remains to be seen, though. Give me Florida plus 4.5, minus 110 in this spot, Jose.
All right. Florida plus 4.5 for you, Wine Time. Let me write that down here for you. And I agree. I think Florida could win this game outright here. You said minus 110 there as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's keep rolling here. And let's go back to Kansas BYU here. We just broke it down. Our YouTube stream crashed during it. So we want to go back over it just in case any of you guys missed it. It's pretty split tickets wise. Let me pull that back up here. Actually, it's not. 69% of the tickets are on BYU, but there's 45% of the money on Kansas there. So pretty split money wise. Tickets, there's more tickets on BYU. This line was the fishiest line of the day for me, as I mentioned earlier. And I think that Kansas wins this game outright. A number 6 team on the road, at home, only being a 3-point favorite, it sends your alarm bells off. And I think Kansas wins this game outright. And so I like them here. Wine, Take it away. Regale us of what you're on here.
Yeah, man, this is going to be a very interesting Big 12 matchup, man. BYU, man, still lots to play for going through the rest of the season. You know, they want to make a conference championship, and not only that, they want to win their conference championship to try to win a national championship. These guys have been kind of getting by each week, man. Playing some good football, kind of when it matters most. You know, we saw what they did in that last possession with barely any time against a Utah team that, you know, a team that's kind of down this year, but their defense is never down. They always have a solid defense, and we've seen them come to play on a lot of these games. You know, big game last week too, Kansas, man. I won't forget, you know, hitting up Jimmy saying, you know, like, I don't know how I didn't tell you to take this earlier, but I think we got to be on Kansas here in this spot +3. We both took it as easy casher, man. I wish I would have been on it earlier in the week at a better number, but it didn't matter because they won outright. They've got all the playmakers they need on offense for Jalen Daniels, the quarterback. This guy's dynamic with the ball in his hands. He can get the ball to his playmakers in open space. Devin Neal, running back, one of the better running backs in probably the best running back in the Big 12. He's going to be playing on Sundays one day as well. Big matchup here for Kansas, man. They went out, they can get a bowl game. And for some reason, man, I just think that they're going to get this win here. I see him it's going to be a hostile environment in Utah. Don't get me wrong. The backdrop is all sick. It's going to be a beautiful night there. You know, it's probably even, I'm going to guess it's probably going to be senior night because I don't know if they have another home game. They might have another home game. With that being said, though, man, I'm on Kansas here +3, and I'm on the money line. Give me the +3 -110, the money line +125. I think they're going to get them outright. Kansas has the weapons. We saw what they did last year on offense. It took them a couple games to get adjusted to this new offensive scheme this year because the other offensive coordinator left for Penn State. I think they're getting it together. Give me Kansas here.
I agree wholeheartedly. I'll be on Kansas with you here. And by the way, BYU, they have one more home game against Houston, last game of the season. So don't have to worry about that here. But I agree. Kansas for me. All right. Let's get to our next game here, Wine. And I have to reset myself. And that is our last game here. Boston College, SMU. I mean, if you're on the internet, you probably saw that Tom Brenneman called Boston College's last game. Tom Brenneman of Nick Castellanos fame, and hearing him just say the word Castellanos sent a chill down my spine. So that was nice to see, I guess. But SMU wagon. I mean, are they about to roll into the ACC and potentially win it for the first time? That would be a big flex for them here. Home game against Boston College. I have this line at 17, which, I mean, I want to double check here actually because I'm seeing, you know what's funny about that line? I wrote this down at 17 this morning, and this is already up to an 18.5.
Wow.
My God. Some big movement in this game. I don't know why specifically, but let's go to the market here. It's pretty split tickets wise as well. 52% of the bets, 59% of the money on SMU here. That is fascinating. I mean, Boston College is coming off of a win, 37-31. SMU rolling, feeling good about themselves. I'm interested to hear you taking this one, Wine. I mean, they're the top of the ACC for a reason, right?
Yeah, man. SMU, a team I was really high on in this offseason. Talked about it last week with Rhett Lashley, one of the better offensive minds, in my opinion, in all of college football. You know, SMU getting the move to the ACC, man. Like you said, this is a big flex if they win the ACC this year. They've got everything in front of them, man. I don't think this is a watch out spot by any means. I think SMU is going to continue to hit on all cylinders as they have been. Pretty much since the beginning of the season, when they had those struggles the first couple of games, everyone's kind of writing them off, including me. I was like, man, maybe this team just isn't built the way I thought they were. Made the big change at quarterback from Preston Stone to Kevin Jennings, man, and he's been really good running this offense. That's the thing with Rhett Lashley. He kind of needs a dual threat quarterback in there. That's the kind of offense he runs, and that's the kind of offense he likes in Kevin Jennings. BC, man, they benched Thomas Castellanos. You know, they're starting the younger guy in Grayson James, FIU transfer. You know, he throws the ball probably, I'm going to say, a little bit better than Castellanos. He probably doesn't run necessarily as well. But Castellanos, he kind of just got to move on from the guy, man. You know, I wasn't high on him coming into the season. Wasn't high on Boston College by any means as well. you asked me what head coach I like better between Rhett Lashley and Bill O'Brien. I'm going to tell you I would hire Rhett Lashley 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100 times over Bill O'Brien. And I think he's got the team, man. He went to the transfer portal a couple years ago, and he's kind of been building this team since then. Didn't go after a lot of transfers this last offseason. Didn't necessarily need to because he's really starting to recruit really well. He's starting to get to these younger kids, and they're starting to relate to him a little more. He's kind of a younger coach. He's not super young, but he is. I forget how old he is, but he's a younger guy. And, I think he's on his way to a Big Ten or SEC school in no time, probably next year, especially if they make a run at the college football playoff this year. I think they're building something special over there at SMU. Watch out Miami, man. Watch out Miami. Clemson, I think Clemson's pretty much, in my opinion, out of the college football playoff. They've got 2 losses. I don't think they have a strong enough schedule. SMU and Miami, one of these teams, maybe both of them make it if they both win out and go to the conference title and it's a 3-point game. Maybe both of them get in it, 2 ACC teams. I wouldn't argue with that. So we'll see about that. But with that being said, SMU minus 17 gave it out last night. I'd love to see that. It's at an 18.5. They're going to smack these guys up. This game is going to get out of hand, man. I'm probably going to get on the SMU team total once it becomes available for me as well. But yeah, give me SMU minus 17, minus 110. Give it out last night.
Beautiful. And by the way, again, shout out to Sean Higgs. He came in, the YouTube stream immediately broke. He's probably heard that the YouTube algorithm saw Sean Higgs was in the chat. It's like, stop working now immediately. And then Sean said, here's a $50 dono, even though we can't hear your breakdown.
Shout out to you,
Shout out to you, Sean Higgs, for being a member here for 16 months. And yes, this is a new stream because unfortunately that last one died out on us there. So we keep rolling here, and we appreciate you, Wine Time, for making these Wednesdays profitable here. You've been dominating the board, and it's been fun to watch here, Wine. I will go over your official plays here just so I make sure I have them all right. We have got in the NBA, CP3 over 8.5 assists, even money. And the under 2.9. I didn't even write down the teams for that game. What game was that? Under 219.
I think that was the 76ers game.
76ers game. I will go back to that one. All right. Under
Philly,
219. Cleveland. Philly, Cleveland there. So under 219 there. Thank you very much. And Scottie Pippen over 12.5 points at minus 130 there. For the college football, he's on UCLA +4, minus 120, and he's not made it official yet, but he might make UCLA Washington under official there as well. Follow him on Twitter. Oregon, Wisconsin under 53.5, minus 110. Kansas money line +125. Kansas +3. Florida +4.5, minus 110. SMU minus 17, minus 110 there. Anything else we're missing?
Jose, yeah, my bad. It's actually the Wisconsin, Oregon. It's under 53, not 53.5, minus 110.
All right. Under 53. Wine Time. I appreciate you, my guy. Anything else you want to plug before you get out of here?
Yeah, man, I'm going to give you guys another winner for tonight. We got a big matchup here, man. In the MAC play here on a Wednesday night, beautiful Wednesday night here, man. Let me pull this up really quick. Akron at NIU, man. NIU, man. Kind of an up and down season for them. They've been playing on these weekdays. We saw what they did when they went into Notre Dame and took care of business there. They got into the rankings right after that. Pretty crazy to see. But ever since then, they've been a very inconsistent offense. They're a team that likes to run the ball, kind of like to burn the clock. Akron, on the other hand, they're turning the ball over like crazy right now. This isn't a super good team by any means in the MAC. I just think this is going to be one of those crazy Wednesday nights in the MAC where Akron goes out there and maybe beats these guys outright because NIU, they're such a hit or miss this season. Maybe they go out there and they miss. I know they're at home. I'm on two sides in this one, guys. I'm on let's see what I gave it on Twitter really quick. I just want to make sure I give you guys the correct number. Gave it out last night. Akron, NIU under 45, minus 110. It's down to a 44.5 right now. We're seeing the markets agreeing with me in this spot. People are hammering the over. Looking at the market right now. We're seeing 21% of bets, 34% of bets on the under. The line's moving towards the direction. I'd love to see that here on a Wednesday night in the MAC. I think both teams are going to try to control the pace of this game, especially Northern Illinois. They're going to try to run the ball. And I think Akron, if they can hit on a couple plays and maybe score 14 points, I think they can easily cover this game. You have it at a 15.5 right now, Jose. I got it at a 14.5 this morning, so the line's dropping. Give me the 14.5 in this one and the under.
All right.
Mac action on a Wednesday night. This is 2 full units here on these games, guys, on a Wednesday night, man. We just broke down those weekend games. It's the same amount of units on this game. Maybe a little bit less, but I got some good money on these games, and I think we have a good edge in the MAC tonight.
And that was Akron NIU under 45 and Akron plus 14.5 there, minus 110 for our guy Wine Time Sports. Beautiful breakdown, Wine. Anything else you want to plug or get out of here before we say adieu to you?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for always having me, Jose. It's always a blast doing these Wednesdays mornings with you, man. Start usually with you 9 a.m. on the West Coast. I look forward to it when I wake up. Look forward to the chat always showing out early and often. Appreciate you guys for making it happen. Shout out to you, Sean. Appreciate you for coming by, my man. Asked you to come by and just say, come by and watch the breakdowns. Support you coming with a $50 dono. Appreciate you, my brother. Give Sean Higgs a follow too, man. Doing everything right over there at his YouTube channel and his Twitter, man. Cashing winners on the daily. I watch his show every day too. Follow me on X Wine Time Sports. I'll be breaking down college football Fridays card with Jimmy. We got some other good games to talk about. The Arizona-Houston game, very interesting. I'm not on it yet, but I'm going to break it down a little bit more later today. And I'm going to be breaking out NBA again with him, man. Last week we had a lot of action. I think we went kind of like 50-50 on it on that Friday. So we're down in the NBA, man, but it's a long season, and I believe in my capping in the NBA over the last couple of years, so I know we're going to turn it around there. Hopefully we cash these plays that I gave out with Billy B and Jose earlier. But yeah, man, just follow me on X Wine Time Sports, man. Appreciate you guys as always.
We will see you very soon, our guy Wine Time Sports. Thank you for joining us here on a lovely Wednesday. All right, let's get to our last guest, and he has been patiently waiting in the wings. I appreciate him. He's dealt with this stream change as well, and we appreciate him very much for doing so. It's the one, the only Conor Making It Mac Daddy. Conor Mac Picks joins the program. Conor, hello.
Jose.
I'm sorry for the stream change there. How are you doing?
I'm good. I just had my light go out. Give me 1 sec.
No worries.
See if I can fix it.
No worries there. Let's break down, or let's set up, I should say, these MAC games going on tonight, because we're going to talk about the 3 football games going on tonight here. And then we've got 2 best bets in the college football world with Conor, and 1, I believe, college basketball play. So, Conor, thank you for jumping in here. Let's talk Kent State, Miami, Ohio. I have not, I don't look at the college football lines as closely as you guys do, but I have not seen a 30-point spread with this low of a total. I don't know if I ever have. 30-point favorites for Miami, Ohio, a total of 46. If you think Miami, Ohio is going to cover this number, might as well bet an over, I guess. But good Lord here, Conor. It's an interesting game. We talked about these 2 teams last Wednesday, and we talked about how Kent State could possibly be the worst team in Division I. And when you're putting up lines like this, it's not helping your costs here. 47% of the bets on each side spread-wise, but 62% of the money on the Miami, Ohio Redhawks, I believe they are. Conor, do you have any action on this game? This is a massive line.
I don't, but I just think if you're going to take this game, like, you would hold your nose and take Kent State, and that's not easy to say. This team's awful. They're dead last in overall defense. They've got shredded all year. You just talked about it with Wine Time. Between kind of the bottom feeders, Akron showed more and been able to score a little bit, where Kent State, just look last week. At times, against some of the lower competition, they've been able to score, Western Michigan, Ball State. But like Bowling Green, and last week, the Goose Egg, was a nothing in that game against Ohio. And then Miami, Ohio, finally starting to roll. This team kind of struggled early on with some veteran, a team that has a pretty good defense. They ripped off, 4 straight, 3-1 ATS. I'm off here, but I would hold my nose and take Kent State if I were to get involved here. And a team that's horrible on the road. There's not much you like anything. And the quarterback situation's awful too. Ulatowski, I've seen him, for a few years now. It's horrible. Tomlinson's not any better. So they can't really throw it. Can they run here a little bit? With those two guys now in, basically they're, it's kind of the third, fourth quarterbacks they've been to this year. Who knows? But, can they score 10 points in Miami, Ohio, let off the gas? I don't know, but I'm off here.
Okay. I'm off here as well. A huge spread. But, if I had to play this game, I think I'm taking Kent State as well. 30 points? Good Lord.
30.
All right. Next game, we just mentioned it. Wine time is on it. Akron and IU. I won't spend too much time breaking it down here. I will mention 50% of the tickets on Akron and 61% of the money on Akron here. And yet we have had this line go from, let me see here, went from a 17 to a 14.5 here. Wow. What do you think here, Wine? Or excuse me, Connor. Got wine on my mind.
There he is. Wine time, my dude. Robert, Sean Higgs. Shout out to Sean Higgs with the dono earlier. Cab, my guy. Core Clan, what's going on? Kelly McKinnon, shout out to all you guys. Skunk Blaster as well. He likes the Gophers. Yeah, a lot of love for North Texas in that game. So we'll see.
Yeah, the guy, we've got Skunk going to the game too. Skunk's going to be
really?
right behind the bench. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. I love it. All righty. All right. Let's get to this football game. This is, I've been sitting with this really all day. I love the kind of movement to Akron in this game. I look at Northern Illinois. This is one of these teams. Yeah, look, last night, a team like Bowling Green covered a team that struggled. This Northern Illinois team has double-digit favorites. Have been awful, and since what's his face? Hammock, the head coach, has been there. So I think he get 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, 18 or 19, 1-7 ATS as a touchdown favorite or more. And he's even horrible when it's 3 or when it's under a touchdown. It's not very good either. Record's a little bit better, but 1-7 ATS. That means they're not doing very well, Jose, with big numbers. Last year they beat this Akron team, who's made a little bit of strides this year, 55-14, and that can happen here. Northern Illinois, of course, is going to run it here well. They're going to run it. This Akron offense as well isn't very good. One thing, can they have some success throwing it? Akron, the 235. The one thing is Northern Illinois' defense has been solid all year, only 166 through the air, and they give them only 120 on the ground. But like Weinstein said, I think they just need to score here a touchdown or two, and I think they're in this football game. So I was leaning to the 14.5.
Okay. Well, 14.5 spot for Akron there. As Connor, are you going to make that official as well?
I'll let you know here. I haven't bet it. So.
Okay. Beautiful. Let me know. We just talked about this game. Akron is on Wine Time's card, and so is the under. Next, Eastern Michigan, Ohio. This is, Connor, I'm not going to lie. When I think of Maction, this is the game I think of. I don't know why, but these two teams just, maybe it's it was the whole, the cinder block thing, running through the cinder blocks that I think Eastern Michigan did. I don't know, but this game just screams Maction to me. For sure. It's an 11-point spread, 50% of the tickets, 61% of the money on Eastern Michigan here. And we had this line opening up from an 8.5 and climbing up to an 11 here for Ohio. Wow. Fascinating stuff here. I don't want to move on this game. I haven't moved on much Maction besides Ball State. I lean Ohio, but that's just a lean, obviously. Conor Mac Picks. Regale us. What do you think about this lovely game?
Did you have Ball State last night?
I did not. No, my friend told me to
should've.
bet them, and I didn't. But I felt bad because obviously I have a buddy that's on the coaching staff, and he coaches the defensive backs, and I'm like, God damn it, man! 51 points, you blow that game. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
It's bad ball.
I know they should have won it, but I'm just glad in the end there that covered. Wild shit in OT in that game. Yeah, there's one thing when you get to this now. Ohio's playing really good football, but they beat up on Buffalo, and then Kent State, we just talked about, 41-0. Their defense has been really, really good all year long. And it's tough because you talk about Eastern Michigan. I mean, they're 4-1 this year. They're even as a favorite 3-1, 7-2 ATS. Last year, I think they were 5-1 as a dog. And Creighton as a dog has just been crazy. So it's now become a little bit public. There's, it is what it is. So that's the only kind of shitty thing because they just consistently covered in these games. They're off a bye here. And I think they're going to have some success, maybe not a ton. And if he takes care of the football, which he's been pretty good all year long, I believe he just has 3 picks, 11 touchdowns to 3 picks. I'd have to double check that with Snyder. But, he's been solid all year, and I think he can have some success in this game. And it's crazy. I thought this would get to 10. Now it's 11, even 11.5. But I don't give a shit. I got to ride it here with Eastern Michigan. I got to take these points. I think they keep this game close, even with Ohio, with a little bit better defense. Something Eastern Michigan does is just plays down a little bit to their competition, even though this year I talked about, and as a favorite against a lower team, they've won. But they've gotten up for these games consistently year in and year out with Creighton. I mean, he's just been a money machine. I think he keeps this game within the 10. I'm on it. And I'm on a prop here in this game. On the flip side, one place Eastern Michigan struggled with is against running quarterbacks. We saw Huff, Jacksonville say he had 80. Even Central Michigan's duo of Jefferson and Manuel, I think they had together like 130, right around there. Parker Navarro, bad year too. They benched him for a while here, Jose. He's been back in. And even in his year, this guy's not a throwing quarterback. 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns, 7 picks. He wants to run it. And off last week where he only got 8 carries, basically the lowest all year. Morgan State, that game, I don't really think it counts. He didn't even play. They won that early in the year. He's consistently got 16, 13, 13, 14, 11, and 13 carries. And after a game where he hasn't got to 50, he's gone right over that number. So he had 38, he has 81. He had 5 in that game. We were talking about 113. I got this at 49.5 last night. It's gone up a little bit, but I'm on his rush yards over 49.5, minus 110. He gets this pretty easy here tonight, and he's going to get right around that 13 to 14 carries. So Parker Navarro over 49.5 rush yards, minus 110.
All right there, Navarro. I got to guess how to spell these names. EMU plus 11, minus 110, I think. And Parker Navarro over 49.5, minus 110 for Conor.
Minus 105 with the 11.
Okay, beautiful. Minus 105 for you, Connor. Great job breaking down these games. Now let's get to Connor's best bets here. He gave us 2 college football games, a college basketball game we're going to talk about here. So let's start with Tulane versus Navy. Connor, most people will say this is not a big game, but over in the American, this is a massive game for us American heads out here. Now, Navy, we saw their, hot start. I don't want to really classify it as that because that feels like I'm a little bit of a downplaying it, but they started off super hot. We got all excited about Army, Navy, both undefeated teams, et cetera, et cetera. Navy now 7-2, 5-1 in the American. But this is basically an elimination game for the American Championship. I think we do an American Championship still, by the way. This is where all the conference realignment fucks me up. But we've got Tulane 6-0 in conference, 8-2 overall. Navy's 5-1, 7-2 overall. winner of this game probably gets the second spot in the American Championship, Connor. So everything to play for. 7-point spread with Tulane on the road here. I obviously would like to lean Navy, but I just haven't seen much that has made me want to back them, especially after that Notre Dame game. It just feels like everything kind of wore down or wore off. 38% of the bets, but 61% of the money on Navy here. So that makes Navy backers, I'm sure, feel good here. This O-line did open up at a 6 and went up to a 7. So all those good feelings evaporate just like that, Connor. So what do you have on this game? It's a big matchup, an American clash to see who makes the championship.
Yeah, this is, last week the Tulane, the team total was super easy. I think their team total is right around 31. I think they get there in this game. I think you could bet that. And I think this game, especially, man, if it gets down a little bit more, I know they don't play it the fastest, but these offenses have been efficient. And I don't think Navy's defense is great. They've been good at home in a dog roll. So I think this game's pretty good. I kind of lean to this over that we get points in. I'm going to a prop, though, here in this game. I'm going right to Tulane here in their running back. Kai Hughes, been dominant. 1,200 yards on the year. He's just been a machine, and he's going to have success against Navy. Navy on the year gives up 156 yards on the ground, and that's fine when you're playing Temple and UAB. The numbers are a little bit better. When they played Notre Dame, they gave up 260. When they played Memphis, they gave up 280. Both their running backs. Anderson had 117. Thomas had his biggest day of the year. He had 125 and 2 scores. He's going to run all up and down. And when I saw this number last night, I had to take it. And against, let's say, the tougher teams he's faced, where he's consistently, and he's going to get, I think, the least 20 carries. Oklahoma, he had 19 for 71. K-State, 21 for 128. I mean, he's going to get over 125 in this game for sure. One thing, Tulane's been dominant on the ground. They have 225, I believe, a game. That's 10th in the country. I mean, look at that, 227, 10th in the country, and that's because of our guy Hughes. This was too low. This number at 100, over 100.5 rushing yards. Hughes, he's going to catch this easy here this weekend. You on mute? Mute? You on mute? I
guess I am. Son of a bitch! I was just telling myself, I know. I literally, Connor, I was having a whole conversation with myself there saying, thank God I didn't mute myself because I said, am I muted? And then I'm a fucking jackass, but whatever. I like the look here. Over 100.5 rushing yards here. Yep. Beautiful work here for Hughes. I have to write Hughes here.
Hughes. This guy's been one of the best running backs, in the country, top 5. And he's going to continue to do it here. They want to run it. Navy's defense, like I talked, run defense, I think it's pretty average. And they beat up on some real shitty teams when they played anybody good. Even Memphis, I don't think it's good, but they're decent. He's going to run all over. Yeah. 25
all right.
carries, 125.
So a little Tulane versus Army American Championship.
Tulane, Navy. Oh, yeah. For the championship.
In the championship, yeah. That'll be fun. All right, let's go to your next game here, and hopefully I am not muted now because we're talking about James Madison and Old Dominion here. Connor, here's a little known thing. If I grew up in Virginia. I spent my first, I spent up until my sophomore year, my freshman year of high school in Virginia. And if I would have stayed in Virginia, I probably would have went to one of these schools. Here, Connor, a little James Madison, Old Dominion accent. I like JMU, quality program. Surprised, admittedly, they got a good coach. I believe, Connor, correct me if I'm wrong, they got Troy's former coach here to replace Signetti, and everyone was raving about the hire and how good it was. And they're 7-2 on the year. Admittedly, 3-2 in the Sun Belt is not what you want, but 7-2 overall. They're going to make a bowl game most likely. I'm fascinated to see how they do here. Their losses, James Madison, they lost 28-14 to Georgia Southern, and they lost 21-19 to ULM. Old Dominion just coming off of losing an 8-point game against App State, but they beat the shit out of Georgia Southern 47-19 here. So it's always fascinating to see those common opponents, how it always ends up working out. It seems as if it was just a rough day for the offense against Georgia Southern. For JMU, ODU took advantage of them here, but I don't know what that's going to mean for this matchup here. Let's talk about the line and where the money is. 93% of the bets are on JMU here, Connor, but it's a 50-50 money split. So 7% of the bets and 50% of the money on Old Dominion. So there are big bets out there on ODU. That is fascinating stuff. This line opened up at a 4 for James Madison. It is down to a 3.5 and 3s at a lot of places here as well. Wow. Interesting, Connor. What do you think here? And Kelly, just to let you know, yes, you did. It's in the beginning of this video. I'd say like 10, 15 minutes in, we started talking about tonight's college football, Kelly.
Yeah, this is the Royal Rivalry, I guess the name of this they have now.
Is that really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I was going through everything, that's the name of this one. This game was pretty good. Last year, James Madison won by 3. James Madison's been a very good team all year. One thing they've struggled is on the road. That's on the side here. I lean to Old Dominion. Old Dominion off a bye as well. They lost Georgia Southern, ULM, and where they've been great, James Madison, number 1 turnover margin this year. But in those couple of games, they weren't great on the road. So I think they could struggle here. But I want to go to this under here. This is a few too many points too high. James Madison, 10th best defense in the country. Been playing well all year long. Like I talked about, the turnovers that they've got have been really, really good. They've been great, on both against the pass and against the run. Pretty good here. Old Dominion's gotten better. This team, just like 4 weeks ago, was ranked like 112. The defense, 74th. In this one, I think they're going to be up. They know they could play with this James Madison team. This one's going to be a good dogfight in this game. So I had to be on the under. I think this and we got 52s, right? I want to make sure 52 here. Yeah, 52, under 52, minus 110 in this game. I think we got a good game here, Jose. That's low scoring. Old Dominion too. Once they made the move, Wilson, the quarterback, I thought he was pretty average, but he struggled. And they've gone to Joseph. This kid's finally struggled for a bit. He's finally come in. I don't think he's going to be, like App State. They just shot themselves in the foot with 4 turnovers. And it's not easy to go to App State, even with them down this year. And they lost because of those turnovers. But Joseph can run it as well. This is a dual threat quarterback. But I just think this game's close. You've seen a lot of these ones where James Madison went on the road and Old Dominion, the 21-14, 21-17 type game. So, yeah, under. Mute. Pulling a cab on me like 10 times.
Motherfucker! God damn
son
it!
Son of a bitch! What are you doing there, son?
That's 4 times today. Good Lord. God, I need to go just take a lap here. I'm going to go run some suicides at the fucking local YMCA now. Jesus.
Well, we've been on.
But Connor, I tried to say this 3 times and I'm fucking muted, but are you telling me that there's bad versions of the Royal Rivalry? Every Royal Rivalry is an electric game. Come on.
Electric. So they're going to be pumped for this one.
Yeah.
James Madison, 2-7 to the under this year. And really, they've had a few, like that crazy North Carolina game. One other than that, their games have consistently not even got to the 50s. So, under.
Wow.
Yeah, Rod hit some stats in there. Yeah, I saw a few of those.
Yeah, and shout out to Rod Zawacki here putting in the stats there. So shout out to you, Rod Z. We appreciate you. My guy, you're part of the reason why this chat is so damn good here. All right, Connor, you are the lone person that wanted to talk about some college basketball today. So I'm excited to hear your take on a little Wright State Toledo here. We're talking Wright State versus Toledo here. And let me tell you where the market lies here. You know why I can't find it? Because I'm on college football and not college basketball. So that would make more sense. Wow. Interesting. I cannot believe Connor and Wine both picked very fascinating games when it comes to market standpoints for sure. Wright State here, 99% of the bets, 98% of the money on them here. And everyone knows me at this point. I much rather fade those kind of spots than beyond them here. Wright opened up at +5 here. We're up to -7 Toledo here. So we have all the money on Wright State, opened up at a 5, and the books spat in that money's face and said, if you want to bet Wright State, you loved them at 5. How about 7? How about 7? And no one wants to bet Toledo here. Connor, I'm excited to hear your breakdown on this one. Please tell me you're on the Rockets.
See, normally I would, but I don't buy it really in college basketball, Jose. There's another game with Hofstra. I think it's probably the biggest public dog of the day, and it hasn't gone back. The Seton Hall is still Seton Hall. But I can't do it here. I'm not on the Rockets. When you don't play defense, you don't cover.
Wow.
This team does not play defense consistently, and they have not covered here at home. They've been awful as more than 5-point favorites the last few years. Dreadful. Wright State beat them. That was at home, 78-77 last year. This total's at 164. There's going to be a bunch of pace. Last year, one neutral game they lost, and even last year they weren't great at home. George Mason by 9, Vermont by 6. NIU by 3. These consistently, when I've had them at this number, I've had to fade them. And I don't really love Wright State. They have a few players that are solid. Noel and I think Hubertese. I can't remember his last name. But they had big games last game. They need more from their bench. But I think they'll have plenty of opportunities for open looks because Toledo, as much as they go up and down and can score, it's kind of one of those games. Look, they beat Marshall at Marshall 90-80, but I've consistently, when they've been in this favorites role, I've loved them as dogs. When they catch 3 points, when they play something tighter. But it's really buried them all year, the last couple of years, and you could go through the numbers to see it. So it is a public dog, but it's too many points. College basketball, that doesn't bother me any bit here. Give me Wright State +7.5 to keep this game close. That's it. I'm not this. And by the way, this Toledo team, solid players, but some of these guys, are unproven. They didn't get a ton of minutes. Of course, the job they do over there is always solid. But yeah, Wright State here, 7.5, all the money, give it to me.
All right, wow. I might have to bet Toledo, just because of how ridiculous that market is. But Wright State +7 for you, Connor, -110 there.
There's a few of them. I think I can get better than 110. There's a few like I talked about in that, but there's so many games in college basketball. I think you got to throw that out. This isn't the NFL, and so I'm just saying that. And there's so many games each day. I think you kind of look at it a little different with college basketball because these guys that all do what we do, kind of bet, are always have been doing what I'm doing. They know this team can't cover, and that's why they're betting it. And I think it's great. I'll take the points here. It's kind of similar. What's the Hofstra? Read that money real quick. Read that game. You got it? You have action pulled up?
Yes, I do. Hofstra, pretty split, actually.
Really?
Connor,
oh, wow.
52% of the bets and 58% of the money on Seton Hall. Actually.
Yeah.
Pretty surprising.
I've seen, a lot of love. I like Gogster too. So I don't know how Seton Hall scores here. This is a team, real quick. I just haven't bet yet, so I'll give it out. But I like the 5. Seton Hall, just everyone out, everyone in here. Seton Hall, as the year goes on, I think Seton Hall gets better. But, man, this team right now just can't shoot straight. I mean, 57-53 against St. Peter's. Fordham, they lost. I mean, this team can't break 60. I don't know how they do it here either today. I mean, I have Seton Hall at home. I'm kind of giving it to them, but I have to be, the look here, I think Sofstra, +5.
Well, Connor, I appreciate you. I'm not gonna bet Toledo. I'll just sit back and watch and learn here from the
No, you
occasion.
bet it.
I know my role. I know my role. I know my role, and I trust my guy Conor Mac Picks. I'll watch and see what happens in that game and learn something.
Real quick, Wright State, horrible shooting night, can bury him, or Toledo just unbelievable, gets out to like a 20-point lead and shoots the lights out. Either that's like they have to run away, because I think the defense just is never there, and we got a total at 164. This pace is going to be up and down, up and down. So that can happen, and that's how Toledo has covered the last couple of years with how the offense that they run is kind of run away and hide. But any questions? We got a ton of games. I'm moving on one more here, Jose.
Please do shoot it.
Yeah, this game. I had this going through this last night. There was one over that I kind of liked, but it wasn't low enough with North Dakota State, Santa Clara, and 153. I couldn't get there, but right here, there's still 144, 144 and a halves out here. Harvard, Northeastern. This Harvard team right now just isn't very good. They already lost to American. Northeastern on the other side lost to Princeton, but that's how I thought that game would go, with Princeton a little more up and down in that one. Northeastern was one of the better under teams all year long for me. And I know they want to slow it down. I thought, I had this line, like even when they've played a couple times, 135, 136, like that's what I was thinking here, like right around 140, 139. So I thought we have 6 points of value in this game. And I would make of Harvard. I just, they haven't been great these first 2 games. I just think this, was too high. Give me the under in this game. Let me see if there's a 144 and a half.
All right. Well, let us know, because I definitely wrote down 146 as well, because I've been horrible with numbers
let me find it here.
all day today. While you do that, here, I'll mention from the chat.
144 and a half. Here we go.
144 and a half.
At the South, minus 110. Perfect.
And that was that over or under? Excuse me.
Under.
Okay. I figured under 144 and a half, minus 110. And that is in Harvard Northeastern. Our guy Kent Davies is on St. Bonaventures here. Shout out to you, Kent Davies, and Timmy Two Shoes on Wyoming, Texas Tech over 145 and a half. Did you have any thoughts on either one of those there, Connor?
No. St. Bonaventure, we'll see. Florida Gulf Coast, I got to look into more. Last night again, North Florida has been the team that you wanted, and again, cashed. And the Bonnies have been a little different on the road the last few years, but this is a gettable number at 2.5. And what's it at St. Bonaventure? Wojciechowski, the NBA, guy, and now he's the athletic director there.
I forgot about that, honestly.
Such a weird fucking move. I'm like, but I think the Bonnies could win if you want to lay the 2.5. I didn't look at that Texas Tech game. I kind of went through it against Wyoming. Mm-hmm. Texas Tech's they're 1-1 ATS. I thought both those games were blowouts. 86-65. Oh, they just didn't cover as 34-point favorites. Okay, barely. Wyoming, another team outside of Laramie, I don't want. They got a whole group that they're rebuilding a little bit. They shoot a lot better when they're at home than on the road. This number is big, though. I had nothing on this one.
Okay. All right, Connor. Well, Connor, let me.
Yeah, I know, Rod. They don't. It's rough for Wyoming. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
kind of like Seton Hall, just like
hand
swipe
up.
it all out, bring it all in, whole new
Yeah,
group.
hand up. I don't think many kids want to willingly go play basketball at Wyoming. I'll admit it. Maybe I'm wrong. But Connor, I appreciate you for joining me here. Thanks for sticking around with us through the stream switches, and thanks to everyone in the chat as well for hanging with us through all these stream switches here. Connor, your official action here. I've written down Eastern Michigan plus 11 minus 105. Parker Navarro over 49.5 rush yards minus 110. Mackay Hughes over 100.5 rushing yards. JMU ODU under 52.5 in the Royal Rivalry minus 110. Wright State plus 7 minus 110, and Harvard
7.5.
7.5. Beautiful. And Harvard Northeastern under 144.5 minus 110 there.
Real quick, what was I gonna look at here? I think I wanted to look at this real quick. I think I'm gonna move on. Hofstra. Give me the Hofstra. Give me a +5.
Hofstra
minus 110.
+5 minus 110 to end out the card.
Until Seton Hall gets together and this team can even shoot. Neutral floor here. I mean, it's a Nassau Coliseum they're playing tonight, but it's not like it's a far one, but it is on a neutral floor there, and lean under in that game. Right around 137.5.
I'm interested to see how many people go to that game. Under 5,000 for the big Nassau Coliseum.
Under
it is.
I mean, maybe not crazy, but under.
That's a big arena.
Under.
It's a big arena to have that game in. But,
and maybe it goes a little over. We swept it college football. We 2-0 last week college basketball. Yeah. So let's do it again tonight. This is with the ad for me.
This is prime Conor Mac season. The Mac is going midweek. We've got college basketball rolling, college football going. Prime Conor Mac season.
Let's get it.
You can find them all hitting the books YouTube page. Hitting the books. Search it on YouTube. New show every week, breaking down college football, and going to talk some college basketball in that program, correct?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more once a week or so on Friday for now.
It's going to be fun, and Bobano and Connor, two great minds in the sports gambling industry. Connor, I appreciate you again. Thank you for dealing with all the issues here today, and thank you for dealing with me having my mic muted throughout the whole show, I guess. Connor, anything else you want to plug before you get out of here?
No. Go to Hitting the Books. Go like and subscribe. Conor Mac Picks on X. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Hit the like button on the way out, even though second stream here. After So what was the glitch here? YouTube?
I guess YouTube. Yeah, I could hear Wine Time perfectly. It wasn't glitching out for us, but on the YouTube machine, you couldn't hear us, I guess. So yeah, that sucks. But Connor, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Sounds good. Bye.
Conor Mac Picks. Thank you as always. Great guy, great capper, and I love working with the man. All right, guys, we appreciate everyone in here for sticking around. Again, apologies for that second stream thing. That was unexpected and probably won't ever happen again. And Wine Time and I will talk about how that one time our stream went down while we were talking about the game. So thank you for everyone that jumped over here. I appreciate you guys, Rod, Jermaine. And by the way, Jermaine, I kind of agree with you there. As a perennial bench rider in sports, anyone that would have given me the chance to play, I would have gone there. So if I would have had to go to Siberia, I probably would have done that as well. Kent Davies, Timmy Two Shoes, Kelly. Thank you guys. Shout out to Skunt Blaster for giving me the motivation to go to the Spurs game tonight, I guess. Cab, Sean Higgs, thank you for the dono, and thank you for being a member here. Tim Montana BX, all of you guys, Skunt Blaster again here. Thank you guys. He's on, by the way, The Gophers money line minus 140 there. 98% of the money on Texas money line, North Texas. So there we go. Scum Blaster, good luck, my man. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back here again Thursday morning, betting with the bag, full breakdowns, cappers contest that day, and as well, we have the NFL live stream. Got the hiccups down. NFL live stream. So thank you guys all again. Appreciate you guys. Follow me on Twitter at Jose Bouquett right there. Appreciate you guys. Say hey, and we'll see you guys next time.